Hey everybody, it's your boy Jack here, and today I'm going to be talking about Celebrity Big Brother UK Series 21. Yes, it looks like I'm going to be talking about The Walking Dead, but my walls are ugly. I need some kind of waller behind me so it doesn't look that ugly. But yeah, today in this video I'm going to be talking about Celebrity Big Brother UK. I'm going to be doing a week 2 recap and rant about how I feel about this series and the second week. Basically everything post India's eviction to the post the double eviction but before the backdoor eviction. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be recapping about that in my weekly review. So let's dive into it. Here we go. So firstly, one of the tasks that we had was the children's task, where the guys and the girls had to keep the children entertained and contained in a sort of hustle, they needed to successfully keep a herd of children herded. And that was probably the cutest challenge ever. Oh my gosh. So they picked the cutest children ever. And then the children are just the celebrities have to keep them entertained. And ooh, it is hilarious because it's just the kids are just trying to they're having fun and stuff, and it's just the dynamic between the housemates and the kids is just freaking adorable, and it's just hilarious. But I did really like that challenge. I think it was hilarious, and I love the after reaction with the kids in the diary room, and it was just come on, how can you not love that? But yeah, it was interesting to see how this challenge went out and everything, and how each host guest viewed it. You obviously have the two probably bigger people here. You got Wayne, and you got Wayne and Ashley. Wayne, obviously, he used clown makeup, and he just was and sort of dressed up as a clown in a way, and had his tap dancing shoes as a special talent. That was big. I think it showed to a lot of the male housemates that he is a bit of a game player in a way. Along with that as well, you got Ashley. She's wearing the unicorn onesie. Huge strategic there in that challenge. You can you sort of see why there's sort of bigger threats, sort of. It was interesting to see Ashley sort of come out of the gate and be yo, wear the unicorn unitard, and she had the great personality to go along with it, and it was just one of those things that was just really smart, because you hear it in the DR with the kids. It's who's your favorite housemate? The one with the unicorn. It's they all basically said it, and then you got you got Wayne, and it's oh, the one with the clickety clackety shoes, and it was just such a smart moment, and such a smart little thing to hold on to. And then so the one thing I'll say is damn, smart moment there. But basically Ashley wins immunity because she got the most votes. Good for her. Congrats to her. Obviously she's sort of been having a rocky start into the house and everything, because everybody's viewing how everybody views Genuine's relationship with her, and it's me personally, I don't really care. It is what it is. However they want to define themselves, I'm fine with it, basically. Yeah, as long as they're fine with it, I'm fine with it. But it's everybody else is freaking out about it because they're in a house and there's nothing to do. Moving forward though, Ashley does win immunity. Good for her. Nominations come up, and it's really interesting seeing a full nomination storyline happen or whatever, where it's over 3 days, where it's pre-nominations, during nominations, after nominations, and you have those 3 stages where it's how everybody feels before, how the house is sort of working together, then it's during the middle you sort of start seeing cracks and stuff, and now after post nominations it's you can tell that there's stuff going on, there's cracks being formed and everything around that. And that's something that I really liked about it, was that whole fact of seeing that the whole divide starting to be formed and everything. But I think the one thing that I really liked is besides that was seeing how the nominations were. Most nominations for the first time are sort of all over the place. Nobody really has a real target or has any real plan on who they really want to get out, unless there's a really main person that's no matter what, we're getting their butt out. So yeah, overall nominations happened, and it was just sort of interesting to see. I think we had about 8 people in the nomination list that got a point, at least 1 point, 5 of which got nominated, or I think 8 or 10, but whatever. Who's doing the math? Not me. I'm not good at that. But yeah, you got the nominations, and it was just really interesting to see how they all sort of went everywhere, or what reasons they had and everything. Nominations just were, parts of it were obvious, parts of it were like, what? And then the other parts of it were just like, okay, I can sort of get that. So you got Anne and Rachel, the 2 people that I weren't shocked about that were going to be nominated. Firstly, Anne. Anne is like your grandmother at Thanksgiving. She is an opinionated old lady that is stubborn in her ways. That's it. I think it's great on this show, especially, and it's great to see, you know, as a previous politician, seeing her having her own way, having her opinion, having her own voice. It's great to see that, because it's like, obviously her career in Parliament would have been something that would have been sturdy for that, and like, it's good to see her still have that, and like have that personality, especially in this house, because everybody is like flipping pancakes over this, and it is hilarious. I am like dying at Anne. I'm just like, yes, I don't want to live with Anne, but I want to see other people live with Anne, just to see people try to understand Anne. But yeah, it's sort of funny seeing how people are like deteriorating over her, like walking on eggshells type stuff, where it's like, they don't want to walk on eggshells around her. They just want to talk about whatever they want to talk about, and like deal with it. So yeah, and I'm not shocked about. I think she's going to be the eternal nominee until she gets evicted from the house, or until she wins the game. One of the two. I think no matter what, in every single nomination, she is going to get nominated, unless like during this backdoor nomination she does. I'm not sure yet. I have to check that as well. But like, I think she's probably the house's #1 target, because of the fact that, like, you know what, how stuck in her way she is, which is fine. It's just it's what makes this game great. Along with that as well, Rachel just seemed like she was ready to go this week. I don't know why. She just seemed like she was ready to go this week. She just didn't like. She was just like, okay, whatever, let's go. Like, I'm not staying in this house for another, like, few more weeks. It's like, Rachel, I like you, but it's like, it's just discouraging seeing you be like, yo, bye, deuces, I'm, like, out this week, no pettiness, I'm just gonna be me, like, and, like, it's just sort of interesting to see everybody else be like, yo, I know she's gonna go, like, that's it, whatever. Rachel in a way was a bit disappointing, because it's like, I would have loved to see her like stir some stuff up, but like, she just sort of started to like every episode sort of give up in a way. It was just like, yeah, I felt Rachel like just got more and more annoying as she went on, and like, I think her whole like, she became less of like a mother and more of like a journalist, where it was just like, she doesn't really care about everything, and like, she just sort of wants to hear like some of the main points, and like, yeah. Overall, Rachel though, I liked her. I think she was an interesting housemate. And I would love to see her in another series, because I think she'd be really interesting. Just in a male, like in a house where it's not like males versus females, just like both genders like being equal. Along with that as well though, Rachel was just Rachel. I wasn't shocked. She seemed like she was ready to go. That was it. She was like, bye. Along with that as well though, David, Mr. Dapper Laughs, got nominated, and I was actually a bit shocked about that. Because like, he seemed like he probably was getting along with everybody socially in a way. He was sort of fluid, getting through with everybody, using humor as sort of a catalyst for everything that was going on in the house. And oh, trust me, I've had some good laughs with him. It's just hilarious. Like, he's just a funny kind of guy. That's what I like about Daniel. I think he's just funny. I think he's a good guy. I get a really good vibe off of him, where it's like, you sort of like, for me, I look at him and I see him as like the friend you see every couple months just to talk about stuff that you probably won't remember the next time, but like you may. And yeah, I like Daniel. I think this week we got to see him a bit more emotional, and and everything, and like missing his family, and it was a heartfelt moment. And I think Daniel is like, I think a lot of people like him. Like for me, I like him. I think he's a really good guy. I like him. I sort of get a really good vibe off of him. That we got John and Andrew. John, I'm not shocked. Like I'm not completely shocked about, just because he sort of seems like the awkward dad, but I just felt like a lot more women were going to get nominated in comparison to men. It was interesting to see how many men got nominated. But yeah, I feel like John gets that like weird dad vibe off of it, where it's like he's like he sort of is a lot more introverted and everything. He doesn't really like the whole like him socializing or being like trendy, that kind of stuff isn't really his vibe. He's sort of just chill, laid back, like introverted kind of thing. So yeah, he also smiles a very like a lot. If we had a drinking game where it was like take a shot every time John smiles, we would be pissed drunk by like the end of the series. But whatever. Along with that as well, though, lastly but not least, in the nominees we got Andrew. Andrew's just like a rowdy guy. I think a lot of people may view his sort of his he's like a 20-year-old dude. Like I think he's a bit rowdy, and he just sort of stirs up a bunch in the house. Along with that as well, his relationship with Shane J / Courtney Act is something that I think maybe a lot of people are going to be intimidated by in the long run, because obviously Shane J is very much of a I think he's very much of a social pillar between a lot of people right now. But yeah, those were all the nominees. Along with that, another task this week, task number 2 or 3 or whatever, was the driving task, where like they had a multiple different series of activities. Each activity has some points and some deductions. You can get a bunch of points, you can get a bunch of deductions, all that sort of stuff. I found it awesome. I found it cute. It was sort of funny. I liked it. But basically we find out that Anne and Mr. Daniel Dapperlaus won. And I really like this because Anne wants to stay in the game, and Daniel wants to stay in the game, and like Anne still got fighting her, and I'm like, yes, Anne, I love you. You're freaking awesome. You're freaking hilarious. Like you're very entertaining, and I love that. Like I love your relationship with freaking everybody. Then you got Daniel, who's like, I want to stay in this game, but I also love my family. He got that whole vibe going on and everything. I'm like, yes, do that. So yeah. I really do like that with Daniel as well. It was just sort of like you get those vibes where it's like, I want to stay, I want to save my butt. But it was interesting seeing how it was like Daniel's like, I don't really care what you do, Anne. You keep my butt safe. You can renom whoever you want. But Anne decides she's gonna renom Maggie, like renominate Maggie, and I'm like, excuse me. You could have nominated anybody else. Trust me, I had a list in my mind of people who I thought Anne would nominate. But apparently, the two people, to quote her, that wear skirts that go up to God knows where, aren't on her hit list. But Maggie is. And like Maggie, I think she plays off as like a really nice like mother type. Like she's just very sweet, she's very kind, and like I just liked her as a personality. Obviously I didn't get to see much, but like I just sort of liked it. Like I liked the vibe that I got off her, and like her protecting, like sort of comforting Jess and everything during Jess's like emotional moment. It was just like a heartfelt moment as well. I would have loved to see how Jess would have like gone through more and more, and like progressed through like I would have loved to see Maggie's and Jess's relationship progress through the series even more. I honestly looked at Maggie and I thought, you know, she could have made it to the end just sort of as like a floater type thing. Like she wouldn't have been like anybody who would have made it to like the top 3 or whatever, but she would have made it in the top 6. That kind of thing. Or not a lot of people know her story, but a lot of people like her. A lot of people like her just for being her. So yeah, like Maggie being renominated was like a bit of a shock. But Daniel stays, so yeah. Moving forward though, so moving into the double eviction, we got two people on the block. We got Rachel being evicted. Not a shock. You know what, she looked like she wanted to go too, and that's what sort of offended me, because she comes out and she's like having a party and stuff and like dancing, all that kind of stuff, and it's like, oh my god, what kind of happy pills is she on? Because I want to be on those happy pills. It's like, really, Rachel? Like, it was sort of a bit annoying, where it was just like, I get it, like, I know you sort of want to leave the house because the house is a bit crazy, but it's like, oh, why do you have to be so happy? Like, it just sort of was annoying too, because like I sort of like got the vibe where it was like she sort of may not have wanted to be there, and it just sort of got annoying. And yeah, like that's where it was just like, I love you, Rachel. I think you're interesting, but it's like it was just sort of sad, like seeing you be like, oh, you're getting voted out, yay! It's like it should be a sad thing. You should be wanting to do this experience. Like, I don't know. That's what bugged me about Rachel's eviction. And then next up we got Maggie getting evicted, which was a bit more of a shot out of left field, where it was just like, oh, okay. But it was like, that was interesting. I think that was the one that was like a bit interesting, but I can get why. You know, we have a lot of big characters in the house right now. Maggie obviously isn't as much of a big character, so I can get why a lot of people wouldn't have wanted to save her compared to Andrew, or her compared to Anne. Like, just overall, like, I can have an understanding of why the people wouldn't have wanted to save her, just because of how much of a big character she is. So yeah, that is about it. Rachel and Maggie are evicted. Along with that as well, we are going to have another backdoor eviction, and I can't wait to talk to you about that in the next episode. So yeah, besides that, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jack Skinner. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that fancy stuff. Comment down below what you think about Celebrity Big Brother and the double eviction and everything that happened this week. Along with that as well, feel free to subscribe to the Reality TV Podcast Away. My name is Jack Skinner. Thank you so much for watching this rant. Bye!